Designer sleeves, playmat, and the special bundle is up. If you guys use code MCOL5, you will get the chance to see here. You got this full set of field centers here for $65, but if you buy 2 sets of them, you will get this Carly exclusive field center to go with the 2 bundle, and you're looking at about 119 plus shipping after using my code to run out to about 125. But who doesn't love free shipping options? Let's go take a look at what's going on today, shall we? You guys definitely grab that, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Top 5 decks for 2022. You're going to see probably application between these throughout a majority of the year here. And number 1 on our list is going to be Pendulum, baby. When you get such a powerful spell card that Link Monster gives you, well, I mean, you got both a spell card and a Link Monster. You got an extra Pendulum summon, which is absurd to me. And then the fact that you get a Link Monster that lets you search for any Pendulum in your deck. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceiling and the power scaling that has been generated because of these additional support cards is bewildering to me, actually. I'm surprised that they would give them a double summon for Pendulum summons. The fact that they would give them a Link 2 that has destruction clauses built into it, and on top of that, searchability. You know, Electromite 2 Electric Boogaloo out here actually making some sort of splash on the metagame. In addition to this, I mean, all this stuff's pretty much generic at this point in time. So, you know, between Odd Eyes, Performa Pals, all of the cool things. Well, I mean, the Odd Eyes support was pretty cool, but who cares about that when you get a Performa Pal monster that literally is discard, draw 2, and then recurability built into it back to a Pendulum scale so you can generate further resources. That's what you want to see when it comes to a Pendulum-based engine in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that they did a very good job for trying to patch up some of the mechanics for that. Now, will this be, you know, like a tier 0 deck? No, it'll definitely be coming in at the tier 1 category, and I think a lot of players will be very happy. I mean, at least Triff will be super excited for Pendulums to be back in full swing. Full pun intended there. Outside of that, nothing else too crazy to really add to the Pendulum category, but new cards really do make a splash on things. Now, next up over here is the Unbreakable, depends on the ban list, Brave Phantom Knights. Now, we have the whole Adventurer archetype coming out here in mid-January, and that's actually kind of cool because you're going to start your year off being able to produce Adventurer tokens, and I too will be an Adventurer token that you guys can summon to the field with my Minecraft sword and cool stuff like that. Patreon reward away. Reward for you guys later on next year, but Brave Phantom Knights is, I mean, consistency, check. The ability to set up an Omni Negate before you start your Phantom Knight combo, check. Entirely generic support train and a discard outlet so that you can get your Phantom Knights into the graveyard easier, check. When you put all of those ingredients together, you get what is one of the most consistent piles of cards that I've seen in a very long time. And honestly, it's the fact that you can set up the Omni Negate, and the fact, if you're wondering who the Omni Negate is, it's the Griffin. I've heard a lot of people that are like, oh, Omni Negate. You know, yes, it's always the Wandering Griffin Rider, all right? Also, the Griffin Rider can be special summoned from the hand if you don't control a monster, if you have a Brave token. So it also can act as Verte fodder if you don't open up a Brave engine, because just 2 monsters makes Verte Anaconda. Hopefully, we'll see getting banned as we head on into the next year here. But aside from that, we've already seen the devastation that the Phantom Knight package can do. In addition to Destroy Phoenix Enforcer and the applications of popping your Dagda Scythe, and addition, man, this is just literally good stuff. Deck. You take all of these good pieces of all of these archetypes, wrap them into one sphere, and you're like, oh, hey, you don't want to play the game? Oh, you don't want to full interruptions, break my board, double Fog Blade, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, Rusty Interruption, and Dagda/Scythe interactions. Personally, I think this is going to be one of the scariest decks, if not the scariest deck for the first half of the year, at least until Branded comes out later on in the year. Next up here is going to be Marincess. Now, you guys have seen me putting Marincess up on a pedestal here and kind of like dancing around going, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, the reason why I've been putting this deck on a pedestal so much is the consistency level that this deck gets with the Duelist Pack goes from here to here, all right? And the fact that this deck gets access to floodgates between Gozen and Rivalry shouldn't surprise anybody out here. When you can include floodgates in your deck, when you can produce the super boss monster, the fact that I think the fact that this deck is now truly a one-card combo-based deck and can do it consistently raises this deck's power ceiling a lot. I would say that effectively now this is just a better Ad Ignister deck. But when you can basically force your opponent to only battle what's in the extra monster zone, when you can force that narrow vision down, and your recovery is super good. Downside to this deck is it's still as fragile as ever to Battle Ocean being negated, but with higher extra deck resource pool, a searchable way to get to Marincess Wave now, so you can set up negates, just being able to play it from the hand for free. I mean, sure, man. Still can't believe they made it that way, but the fact that they've made it one of the most consistent enablers out of that Duelist Pack, mark my words now from this, a lot of people are going to look at the stuff in this Duelist Pack, they're going to write this Duelist Pack off as garbage. And if you're a Marincess player, you'll probably be able to get everything that you want very, very, very easy, very, very early on. And that's fine. I think availability, at least for that, is going to be absolutely amazing. So, hey, affordability is always a good thing. And if everybody thinks the Duelist Pack is trash, well, that means Marincess players get the chance to pick up some stuff to prove the community wrong. It just takes one event for those prices to go to the moon, ladies and gentlemen. Next up here is Sky Striker, and you're like, Sky Striker? Really? You're putting Striker so high up on the list? Here's the thing. In 2022, we will get linkage, unless Konami decides that they want to swindle their player base in the TCG and make us all angry AF and hold linkage until 2023. But I'd be really, really disappointed in that. When you have a Forbidden Droplet type card that just goes, oh, send anything to the graveyard, alright, as long as you have nothing in the main monster zone to produce this link monster. So, you need to put 2 spells into the graveyard to get combo going? Okay, sure, man. I don't care. You need to be able to link summon Kaina during the opponent's turn. You want to make a Shizuku during the opponent's end phase to get a searchable Widow Anchor to your hand. You want to make a Kagari during your opponent's turn so you can add back engage so you can start extra engage combos during the opponent's turn. That's what linkage gives you. At the small price of locking you into locking you into Sky Striker monsters for that turn. But like the defensive value plays that you get out of that are really good, in my opinion. I originally thought this was going to be like a 1 to 2 of. I was like, I don't know, like if Striker players will really play this, but looking at like the OCG results so far, it has been 3 or bust on this card. This card is absolutely that nuts. So I take back my statement about saying that as a tech choice, this might not be enough. I think as a 3-of, this card is a pretty defining aspect, and it's enough to keep up with Branded at the end of the day. And granted, the OCG did take some pretty good hits to preemptively check Branded and bring that ceiling down for it, which I'm actually very happy that they did. I'm worried about how the TCG is going to preemptively gear us for Branded. If not, you're going to have a very Branded summer, as that structure deck is going to dilute a whole lot of play. And I don't think it's really something that the player base is really going to enjoy too much to deal with. Well, I've already said the best deck heading on into next year will be Branded, ladies and gentlemen. You're probably like, oh, come on, Robbie. You've already sold out. You've already sold out of structure decks for people. Like, what's going on here? The deck really is that nuts. All right. If we do not get a ban list before Branded comes out that checks some sort of Fusion Destiny / Verte Anaconda interaction, you can make 4 Destroy Phoenix Enforcers in that deck. And you're like, wait, what? Yeah, you can shuffle them back. You can actually trigger the draw to shuffle back, make another Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. It's disgusting. All right, and in a unchecked environment with a Dragoon running around, they just produce Dragoon off of the Branded Fusion. It's literally free real estate, as we like to call it, ladies and gentlemen. So looking at this going forward here, I just want to say, Konami, you need to do something about Branded, or you're going to be sitting on one of the scariest decks in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh history, just because of all of the dumb things that this engine enables. And I wouldn't be surprised by the later half of the year if we could see Branded Fusion getting touched to some degree, because when that deck goes, it is absolutely a crazy monster. So that's a little bit of a preview of what you're going to see as 2022 begins to unfold here, ladies ladies and gentlemen. And I know that's a lot to take in, and you're probably like, well, I'm not going to see some of this stuff till April, May. That's fine. You have a roadmap 6 months in advance here, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the fact that you can actually see that far down the horizon, because that's a rare thing in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! Guys, leave a comment about what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the grab that subscribe button, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on today with some more cool ass content. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.